How's everybody doing? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and today we got to talk about diversity in the White House. Now, this seems to be a pretty hot button issue, kind of surprising, but at the same time, not really surprising, because anything that can be spun in a negative way about the White House, about Trump in general, is going to make the news and be there for a little while. Maybe this has gotten some attention because of two videos that have come out. The first one is going to be from Sarah Huckabee Sanders, and in this video, you'll see her get asked a question by a reporter about this particular issue. Why aren't there more African Americans in the White House, this, that, and the third? And you'll be able to see her response. And then it's going to be a clip from CNN. I cannot play the entire thing here, but I will place it in the box below. In this clip, you'll see an exchange between two panelists about this particular topic, and it's kind of interesting how the person who was in favor of more White House diversity also kind of unraveled their own argument. But we'll talk about all of that and the previous clip after we get done with both. So without further ado, let's go ahead and roll it.
Omarosa Manigault Newman was the highest-ranking African-American staffer in the West Wing. No black...
She actually didn't work in the West Wing, but go ahead.
No staffer has been appointed at that level since her absence. Can you tell us exactly how many African-American staffers there are in this building? And is it a priority for the administration to reflect the diversity of the country?
Certainly, as I addressed yesterday, we value diversity not just at the White House, but throughout the entire administration. And we're going to continue trying to diversify the staff. We have a large number of diverse staffers from various backgrounds, both race, religion, gender.
How many staffers are there in this building?
Look, I'm not going to go through and do a count. The same way I'm not going to do a sit down and count on the staffers that are in your news organizations.
13% of the country is African American.
And we would love to diversify our staff and continue to do so. We do think it's important. We're going to continue to work to make that happen.
My black life matters, and so does my voice. So what you're going to do right now is listen to what I'm saying to you. What you said was deeply offensive. And what I'm telling you is you can't say, at least you shouldn't feel comfortable saying it in 2018, that, you know, this White House not having diversity can be akin to presidents who didn't have any black people on their staff but for slavery, freeing slaves. Like, that's not okay in 2018.
Thank God it happened.
Okay, so you see what's going on. You see what's happening. Now, first things first, let's talk about the clip with Sarah Huckabee Sanders. Now, I don't know why this reporter thinks that this question is something that she should have to answer. Okay, I don't think that she's going around the White House counting how many black faces she sees. It's not really something that is that important. Honestly, I don't really care about diversity. The White House could be 100% white for all I care, as long as they're getting things done. Okay, you had Barack Obama and his friends in there, Loretta Lynch, Eric Holder, Jay Johnson, etc., and they were not able to get things done. They were feckless leaders, especially for the black community. So to have black faces in a particular place does not necessarily mean you're going to get a positive outcome. Just because they're there does not mean representing you if you are a black person, or if you're a so-called minority, person of color, whatever it is. It doesn't mean anything. Trump, as a white person, is doing much more for blacks and everybody else in America than Obama did. So obviously, color is not the only factor you need to look into to see if a person is suitable for a particular position. Look at what they bring to the table. Look at their intelligence level. Look at how they're going to be able to do the job. Are they puppets? Are they not puppets? These are the important questions, not what skin color are they, especially since you got guys like Sean King, Rachel Dolezal, these imposters, white people who are clearly white, demonstrably white, posing as black people. Okay, race is totally irrelevant when it comes to being able to get a job done. All right, if I need work done on my house, if I need my car worked on, if I need any kind of service rendered, I don't care what color the individual is, as long as they're able to get the job done for the best price, then we're good money. That's how I look at it, and that's why I like Trump being in the White House, because he is a businessman first and foremost, and the most important thing to him is being able to succeed, because that equals the really only important color in this world, which is that almighty dollar, that green. But I digress. Let's get to the Angela Rye little debate panel, whatever the case may be. she unraveled her own argument, because while she's talking about how there aren't enough blacks and it's unacceptable and this, that, and the third, she also says that nobody wants to work for a racist.
I'm telling you that it's a problem in this White House with the staff, and the reason why is because it's slim pickings. You know why? Because nobody wants to go work for a racist.
So if you believe that Ben Carson is wrong for being associated with Trump, if you believe that Omarosa was wrong for even being there in the White House, what's the problem now that Omarosa is gone? Just because there's nobody there to replace her, why do you want anybody to replace Omarosa? So you're able to go and crash on them, call them an Uncle Tom coon, sellout, race trader, Oreo, whatever the case may be. All right. These people are so duplicitous. On one hand, they say they want more blacks in the White House. On the other hand, they say if you work in the White House, then you somehow some kind of self-hater. You should be ashamed of yourself. You can't have it both ways. It's got to be one way or the other. Either you want them there or you don't want them there. And maybe her point of view is, well, if you had more so-called people of color in the White House, then that would influence Trump to go a different way. I think maybe she's just trying to get the White House back, the House and Senate back. I doubt that it's going to happen, especially with displays like this on television, right? You're basically calling people that support Trump somehow deranged mentally. You're calling Trump racist. That's not how you get people to come to your side. If I'm in the center just looking on the outside and I'm not affiliated with either left or right, I'm just a neutral person that's not political at all, and I see all the hatred and all the vitriol from the left, I would say, you know what, I don't want to go over there. If anything, I'll stay right where I am, not aligning myself to either side. But the left's argument most definitely will not convince me to go to their side. The right may not be convincing either, but when you look at who is more convincing, even in a failing effort, you're going to see that the right has that pretty much locked up. So those who are going to veer one way or the other during the election may begrudgingly go towards the right, but they definitely will never go towards the left. So I don't understand what the purpose of her doing this is. But back to Omarosa for a minute. I don't understand why Angela Rye or anybody else on television is saying that it's somehow a bad thing that she is gone, or that you need to replace her with somebody else. Remember when Omarosa went to the NABJ, which I'm sure Angela Rye is a part of. That's the National Association of Black Journalists. When she went to the NABJ to try and be a messenger for Trump, to get people on her side, I mean, it was almost like they were getting ready to kill her in there, quite literally. I'm not even really playing. It was constant badgering, constant questions being thrown at Omarosa from, I think it was Ed Gordon and the Peanut Gallery at the NABJ, accosting her about Trump and his policies. Basically, they were trying to just vent all their frustrations, all their grievances about Trump to her in that particular situation. So, I mean, she can't win. Trump can't win. If anybody works for Trump, then they are a self-hater, an Uncle Tom, a race trader, a coon, a sellout, every other name under the book. They're just totally disgraced by white liberals, black liberals, Asian liberals, all types of people, and the majority, unfortunately, of the black community in general, right? If nobody works for Trump that's black, then Trump is a racist. He doesn't want anybody black on his team. All he wants is an all-white group. You know, he's a white nationalist, all this, that, and the third. So what can Trump do? What can anybody do to please these people? Nothing will actually please these people other than Trump just leaving the White House and having Barack Obama descend from the sky like Jesus Christ to replace him. That is the only thing that would please these people. So I don't worry about diversity. None of that. I really don't care what's going on. I mean, nobody says diversity when you're looking at a basketball game. When you see the NBA 85, 90% black, nobody says, oh, we need to diversify this. We need more whites. We need more Asians. Nobody cares because the best guys have the job. Same thing with the White House. The best guys have the job. I don't really care about the color of the individual. Can you actually put rules on the books that are going to help me and my family in the future? Right? Can you actually do things that's going to help the country? Can you secure the borders? Can you secure the country? Can you engage in trade with other nations in a fair and equitable way? That's all I'm worried about. The identity stuff is really secondary to the actual things that are getting done every day. And quite frankly, their identity is really irrelevant when you're talking about things getting done and things being produced. And I think Angela Rye, to a certain extent, understands that, right? She doesn't really care about the identity issues, okay? If you had a Democrat president in there and there was nobody black, she may kind of raise a little bit of a fuss, but I doubt it, because at the end of the day, things that she likes most likely would be getting passed through. You know, killing off black babies, that's good for the left. Crazy high minimum wage, which kills off black jobs, that'd be good for the left. Anything that would feel good on paper, but in reality be detrimental to Americans, especially the black community, would be great, especially if it came from a black face like Barack Hussein Obama. So what do you think? Do you think that Angela Rye disproved her own argument in this particular piece? I mean, on one hand, you say that we need to replace Omarosa with somebody black and all this and that, but at the same time, you say that nobody wants to work for a racist, and if Ben Carson is under Trump, then he ought to be ashamed of himself. So you're pretty much giving the reason why there's probably not that many people in the White House that are black. She said it herself, it's slim pickings. Number one, what she didn't mention, we're only about 13% of the U.S. population at best. Probably less than that, probably right around 12.3 to 12.6%. All right. In a previous election in 2016, what was it, like 93% of us voted for the Democratic Party? 93%. That's a big percentage. So you're talking about the third largest race group in America, behind whites, behind Hispanics. Then you're talking about a very small number of people who actually voted Republican or not Democrat, because you had 93% that voted Democrat. Maybe you had the other 7 vote Republican, maybe you didn't. It might have been 1% voted independent or whatever, but I digress. You understand what I mean here? You're dealing with a small percentage and then an even smaller percentage, and then people that may want to come out and be in the White House, work for Trump or whatever, are getting language like this from your Angela Rye's, your Roland Martins, all these people that are on television, radio, internets, etc., that are going to constantly harass them, constantly shame them for serving their country in an honorable way. But what do I know? I'm just a guy on the internet talking. But whatever your comments are, please let me know in the comments below. And that's all I got to say for this video. If you like what you heard, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Peace.